but we kept saying no to this opportunity to make a movie on a computer screen, and it was honestly coming up with the opening scene with Sev that made us realize that this thing could be cinematic, and it could be fresh, and it could be emotional, and the idea that eventually we rallied around was that we can tell a very, very, very we can tell a very, very classic story, and then just kind of like balance it out by an extremely unconventional way of storytelling. And if you mix those two, this is our bet, if we mix those two, that result would be something really, really fun to watch. Ultimately, that was it, but seeing the opening scene and feeling how much you could feel from that was just like, wow, if a computer screen can make us feel like that in 8 minutes, like, could we do that for 90? Was just the...
I was just wondering, because it's such a stylistic way of directing, but I was wondering if there was something personal connected to like missing children's stories, or like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, is something personal.
Oh, like the actual content?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
No, we didn't, thankfully.
Did the thriller story come first, and then you decide?
Good question, right? Yeah, so one thing we realized to get to the mystery element, though, which is leads to the missing plot, is we realized, like, on a computer screen, what you're looking at is just information, right? It's like lines of information, it's images, it's text, it's all these things. And in no genre of movie is information more important than a mystery movie, because a character is at a lack of information, and they are in search of information, and they're piecing together information along the course of the narrative. So we realized, like, okay, let's have this movie be a mystery. Let's have our protagonist be breaking into a computer that obviously isn't his or hers for some reason. What would be an emotional reason? Oh, it's his daughter's laptop because she's gone. And that's how we came up with the idea.
I think we have time for one more question. Yes, we're going to leave it right here.
Wow, we did not plant that, by the way.
That was it, yes.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So who do you work for?
The editors on this movie, who are not here, honestly, in my opinion, deserve every single award that they could possibly qualify for, because what they did was so above and beyond traditional editing. Like they not only were editing normal footage, they were creating footage, they were editing it within that, they were framing shots. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw in the credits, but like, there's an entirely additional category we gave them, which is directors of virtual photography, which is what we gave them because that's what they were doing, you know? Yeah, what they did, we made this movie with 5 people in a tiny, tiny edit room. It was me, Nat, Sev, and the 2 editors in a very small room with 2 iMac computers that were constantly crashing. And like we would lose like 15, 20% progress of whenever the last crash was, you know, every few hours, and we would reboot. And a normal movie, you know, I'm sure plenty of you guys have seen Premiere timelines, but like a normal movie, you got like 2 or 3 layers of video and 5 layers of audio, whatever. The easiest scene for us is 36 layers of video, and they were always crashing, and for them to like figure out how to make a movie that no one has ever made before, and then do it with the resources that they had, I think not only is a testament to their work, but also just like filmmaking, baby. You know, like we're trying to make it work, and like they did such an amazing job, and I really, really hope they are qualified.
Just to buffer that point, in case I don't think you made this clear, Aneesh. If that is indeed your real name. All the graphics that you saw were created from scratch, so none of those were screen grabs.
Yeah.
So when you go to a Facebook page, they had to create all those profiles, all those photographs had to be taken or submitted, and all the likes and dislikes had to be pulled together. So that is like, production design, that's costuming, that's, lighting, set design, that's all happening after Debra and I went home and started drinking heavily. So that's what the editors did.
That's a great question.
How long did editing take? It took almost 2 years to edit.
2 years, wow.
I told you it was not yet. It was, we made, the computers were crashing like all the time. You know, like,
And tell them how many days you filmed.
okay, so we shot this, okay, so the movie took 2 years to edit, and we shot this entire film, which has like major crowd sequences, chases, you know, ravine rescues, bunch of extras, all that stuff. We shot this movie in 13 days, which is like really a testament once again to Matt and Seth, who are right there, now taking a photo. They figured this out somehow. I just was a sheep, they guided us.
This is independent filmmaking at its finest.
Yeah, no, we like it's so insane that that we are at the ArcLight right now. Like we made this movie on the corner of Melrose and La Brea, like you know, like 5 of us getting Chipotle at like 10, right as the doors were closing at 10 o'clock, so we could get refuel for the next 4 hours. You know, and it's so cool that a small movie like that can just apply to a film festival like Sundance, get in, and then have this distribution. It's just like the coolest thing ever. So thank you guys so much for coming.
I think just hearing those statistics is insane. I didn't even realise that, so it's pretty incredible. Is there ever, I'm going to wrap up with this one, but is there ever a world where we could possibly see a continuation of this story, or are you already working on your next thing where hopefully we'll see these two reunited?
Searching 2 is a Tinder love story. It's like, you know, dad
Tinder love story?
Yeah, it's like, you know, Margot is back. You know, she's trying to get her dad now back in the game.
I'm in. I'm invested. I want to see this play out.
Tinder catfish.
Yeah. And he goes to fish in jail
Again?
To get like dating.
We got real good at, you know, navigating things. So.
Vic's like the mentor character. He's just like gets back to the jail, and you're like introducing her again, and she's in jail, and then he's just like, okay, so I saw this girl the other week.
I see this working out. But anyways, this is such a really incredible debut from you, and awesome performances from you guys. It's not just that it's been directed by South Asian American and starring an Asian American with incredible role for a woman, but that this is just overall such an engaging and great film. So congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out. Our homies.
Oh, that is. Make sure you say hi to Seth and Matt over there. They made this movie too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was like, I don't